Interesting. Alright, I think we're streaming. Let me check. Weird. Discord does not say I am. Eh, whatever. Alright. Yeah, welcome back. Well, start of another game dev stream. Alright, cool. So, this should be stream number 4. Yesterday, I worked on the Juggernaut game mode, I think, for a good bit on stream, and then finished it up off stream. So the way that works is, let me go ahead, pick 2 characters. Compilation errors. Okay, hold on. Let me check that out real quick. Right, I was in the middle of doing my next task. Was it vertex, cable, left and right? Get vertex animation. Vertex. Grab both these real quick. Some stuff is currently in the middle of transition in terms of code. So some things are broken again. Ah, right. Like the character not having their skeletal mesh enabled. Sorry, 2 seconds. Just turning that off on my other screen. I hit play again. Okay. Probably in standalone mode. There we go. Cool, there we go. So we got 2 people in this other window here. We just leave it here. Weird. I think it's like 20 seconds now to pick a person. So I'm gonna just wait a couple more seconds. There we go. So it picked the client. So client 1. So this person here would be the Juggernaut, and the other player, when killing them, would turn red. I guess I have the dash attack disabled right now. I'm doing a lot of back hidden code stuff right now. I also said backend. Like, I don't even know what that means. That's like server networking and like stuff you don't actually see. I'm changing up code for visuals of the rope stuff, and I have some things disabled at the moment. Let me see if I can turn that back on. Yeah, so I just straight up didn't have the dash attack plugged in. And then I can go to data, was it blueprints, game modes, be in the Juggernaut thing. So I did create a core game mode yesterday with some basic variables like a respawn timer, and then the children can set that respawn timer to whatever they want. And we handle the respawning in the player controller, which was an issue I was dealing with. On death respawn seems to be kind of long. I should promote. Sorry, I should be doing this code on my main screen because it's really boring if I don't, because you guys aren't seeing anything. So we're gonna do initial Juggernaut. Pick time. And then we're going to default this to 10. So that's just a delay that runs on the game mode, which is on the server, before it picks a random Juggernaut. There's a couple issues with this game mode right now. Like if everyone's dead, it won't pick a new one, because we're not doing a check for that. But that is something I can fix when it's important to fix. But right now we're moving on to some new features. So 10 seconds is going to go by, and then it's going to go ahead and pick a random character. I guess I pick client 1 again. So if we go to the server here and I kill this dude, it moves the tag over to me and changes my material color and everything. So yeah, it's working. There's no way to keep score at the moment. At least I'm keeping score on the player controllers, but nothing occurs due to score. So you can kind of see my left click is broken here. There's no animations, and the grapple lines kind of just shoot out without their animation right now. That is because I am in the middle of overhauling the visual issues that we were getting from running the code separate to the gameplay code. So what I was doing is I was running a separate line trace on the character with our PCs telling everyone, hey, here's where my lines hit, attach and do all this stuff. And that was entirely a separate line trace to the actual physics movement code side of things, because at the time I did not understand how to separate out the movement code from the visual code. I couldn't grab the same variables, so I was trying to send them over across actors and it wasn't working well. But now I'm moving all the visual updating to the movement component here from the general movement component plugin. And this is where I had everything initially in the character class. Well, it's not really a character class. It's the pawn class. There we go. Where I had all this code with all the same repeat inputs to allow for like RPCs to server and like run on itself. And like I had a check to see, hey, filter client owner server, a bunch of multicasts going everywhere to these events for like starting the grappling, and it was a mess. It is indeed quite the mess. We're using a lot of timelines still instead of setting it up in the I guess like the main difference is timelines are neat, but in order to get stuff to work with the general movement component, for the most part, I can't use timelines. I don't think I can, at least, because everything's running on tick. So I have to use the tick from here, meaning I have to create timers or do lerps using easing nodes instead of using the timelines with custom ramps and stuff. So it's a bit tricky because I did kind of go in depth with the animations and stuff here. Like, this timeline has a curve that overshoots a value of 1, and that's like kind of the spin you do after you launch yourself, and it's like you get a little recovery spin, like you overshoot it and then correct yourself, and like that's right here in this curve. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do that with just like a tick. So gonna be a little bit of a learning curve today, trying to get a bunch of neat animations to work. The reason I'm doing this and moving this code here is because each client was having inconsistencies with when they were grabbing like walls and stuff to grapple off of. We were getting issues where the ropes would connect, but you wouldn't actually be moving based on the math happening, and it was like, oh shoot, okay, so like there's like a visual discrepancy with what's actually going on. So moving this code over to the movement component allows me to use those variables we set for movement, which will guarantee us that we have, like, yes, we hit it 100%, we know we're using that variable, so it really can't mess up now. So that's the biggest thing we're changing here, is just moving all that visual code over. So that's kind of my goal for today, is to get that whole system reworked and refitted for the movement component and the replication component side of things. So to start this, we're using a function off of the tick here, which is dedicated to setting up custom gameplay logic. Basically, like, if you're setting up logic that's not affected by replays and substepping like it says here, then I'm pretty much good to do code here. This is kind of what I've been suggested for, like, hey, if you're gonna do visual things that don't really affect movement, do it here. And that's what I'm doing. And there's also, I'll have to do it here because this is on event movement update simulated, so this runs on everyone who isn't you. So this will essentially be copied over here, the same way I've simulated the dash attack animations and ability here, and I've simulated the wall run visual updating here too, across other clients. So yeah, I know it's a lot of talk, a lot of confusingness if you're not a programmer, so I apologize if you're just here hanging out and you don't actually do any programming. That's what I find most of my streams tend to end up being. Okay. But hopefully I could simplify things down, so if you're at least curious, I could explain what's going on. Okay, so I'm kind of repeating a lot of my code here. I got most of this working for just the grabbing part, or like the grabbing aspect of things and the attaching aspect of things for the cable components. But the issue is that we only have one location for the cable components based on our line trace, meaning that we can't do the right click because the right click has 2 points. It can grab left or it can grab right, but right now I built the system to just stick to 1 point. So like the true crosshair location is what we're using when you click, which is fine for now. Honestly, it's all we need for testing. We'll fix up the code and allow it to support multiple grab locations in the future for to fix the right click working. So we have set attach end to component. This just basically grabs. I should probably organize this a bit better. This is a little confusing. Yeah, I don't like that that's crossing over there. I'm gonna do that. Like, it can't hurt to do this, right? I know it still looks just as bad, but I'll at least know what's going on. It's easier to read. That's all that matters. So we're basically doing a line trace from this little macro right here before movement happens. And the line trace, when you click, the condition for this is wants to ODM basic grapple, so left clicking will trigger this line trace. It'll grab you your locations, or your location based on camera, etc. And it will decide, hey, can I grab onto this? Yes, no, right here. And if you can, it will set your grab point and it will set the component you hit, which are two very important variables we need to set over the network for everyone to know about. And using these two variables, we then set the visual rope locations. We attach them to the component we hit, and then we also set the grab point location. So that's how that works. It's not too bad to do. The reason we need to attach the components to the cables to the hit component is because if we do not do that, the cables will kind of just go to their endpoints, but then they won't like stay there. Like, you'll move around as your character and they'll rotate with you. So you need to take the world space of the hit component and you need to inverse transform, which takes it from world space to local space for the grab point. And then I believe because you're attaching yourself to the component and then adding on local space to the grab locations, you'll hit that component and you'll be like fixated on that component. At least the endpoints will be. So that's how you're able to deal with that. It's a bit weird, but it's what lets you attach permanently to something that could even move as well. So that's another benefit, is if that thing you grab onto starts moving, you will stay attached to it. So that's kind of why I wrote this code the way it is. So that's what this is doing here. This here just shows the cable, a super simple function. I honestly don't even know why I have it as a function. Maybe I plan on expanding it a bit. I don't remember. I was really tired last night when I did that. I was like, this is really simple. So the tricky thing here is the real smoke and mirrors that I have going on is I have another like line, which is a mesh, like a physical mesh that has a vertex animation. I wonder if I could show it. So these little lines coming out of the character here are actual meshes, and the mesh is hidden due to the material that's attached. So if I actually take off the material, I guess I can't. That is the default material. If I pick any other material, you'll see this line goes way out there. Like, it is really far. You can see the other one ends over here because the material is a bit wrong. But you'll notice when I just swap the material, it's gone. And that's because it's intentionally a material I set up that hides most of the mesh on the alpha channel and then plays a vertex animation for the illusion of shooting the cable out. And as the cable gets shot out, it reveals more of the mesh on the opacity. Or the, yeah, I think there's an opacity mask. And then I'm trying to time it so it looks natural. We do have a couple issues with it, but like, it looks okay. It looks decent. I made the materials for it. It works. That's all I really care about. So, yeah. All right, so going to calculate vertex rope direction. Pretty much what this does is it's checking. It's pretty much just getting the world locations and inverse transforming them to pretty much just attach themselves to where we just clicked. So we have the ODM grab point in the middle here. We're using that as the target, and we're kind of just like orienting these things to the target we're trying to grab to so that they can kind of line up with where the ropes are going to go. It's a bit tricky to pull off because I believe this needs to fire off every single frame or every single tick in order to reorient them correctly. That is kind of annoying to do. I'm trying to think. I know I'm probably using a timer or timeline. So this is ODM rotation cables. I'm guessing it's in here. So there is a timeline right here. So yeah, this timeline, we're getting 2 curves out of it, or 2 tracks where we're going from 0 to 20. Ooh, that's a weird number. Like 29 probably, or 30. And then going from 0.50 to 0. It's a bit weird, but I'm using this timeline to move some values on the material and to calculate or to update the reorientation of the ropes every tick until this timeline is done. So this is going to be a massive pain in the ass to bring over to a tick only system, meaning like we're essentially moving this over to, hey, this is firing every tick. How do we carry over this timeline logic? I'd love to find a simpler way to do it, but as far as I know, I just have to make a timer myself using math and checking the timer and then using the value as alpha, or like as a alpha, and just, yeah, it's gonna be a mess. Lots of extra variables I'd rather not create, but hey, I don't know. It's what I gotta do. So this seems to be fine. We can test this as long as we have show vertex rope. I'd like to change this to show vertex animation rope. And then do the same here. Vertex anim rope, just to be a little bit more descriptive so I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so this should just be, we're unhiding the 2 vertex animations. So we'll go ahead and grab those. They won't even animate right now either. They will just appear and I might not even notice them. So we're gonna bypass the show ODM cables for now, only because I'm sure the cables are gonna overlap if they're both being shown or revealed at the same time. And if I remember correctly, these should be hidden by default. Hidden in game, they are not. Okay, well they are now. They should be hidden by default. I don't know why they weren't. Maybe I was doing some testing. These are both hidden by default, that's fine. And then we can go ahead, pop in. All we're gonna do is a left click, and then we're gonna see, hey, does it show the cables? Yep, it shows them, they're right there. But are they going to where they need to? It doesn't look like they're transforming in local space. It looks like they're still using world space. Or the root, the root component is wrong. That's what I'm getting from this, is that even though I click on this wall, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're reorienting to the last known position I clicked, which is also another stupid issue I used to get. This is a tough one. Oh, that's weird. No, I think... No, okay, it's definitely not going to where we last clicked. It's just that my capsule is rotating, so the root component is wrong. I think. Unless it's just working. Oh no, I think it is working. Yeah, it's just not updating. Because that's the direction I clicked. Okay. Everything's fine. Yeah, it's just not updating correctly. Because you'll see, like, if I click backwards, it'll face backwards still when my character turns around. So, yep, there you go. So you can see, like, it's going to the right place. It's just only doing it once. And to demonstrate why, or what I'm talking about, we can just find this and just have this always be the case when we're left clicking. Okay. I could also probably close out the second window so that I don't have to keep closing it. We're doing a test. We're gonna do this all as client because it's important we see client perspective. So if I just hold down left click, you'll notice, okay, well, other than the movement itself actually taking me places. Weird. When I, oh no, it's working. Yeah, the lines are kind of like going in the direction where they should be. So it's working. It's just like we need to figure this out. Oh man, this is a little complicated, I'll be honest here. So the show cables is completely fine. I just realized this wasn't even the correct thing because we took it out. So I don't even know what I was doing to test that. Calculate vertex ODM direction. I think we were doing it fine. Okay, yes, this calculate direction needs to be running vertex and rope direction. Grab once. I know we're grabbing once. I get it. We need to be doing this here. This direction is crucial to how this works. I think we're okay there. Show ODM cables, show vertex rope animation. So ideally, this code should be swapped around. Yes, this is important, but it is not as important as getting what's shown first, which will be the vertex rope. Because the vertex rope 100% exists before the actual cable components do. So I'm just going to reshuffle this so that I kind of like understand what's going on. And yes, the order of code matters. You should try to plan out code in the direction that it should be relevant. Just because code does move from left to right, at least from visual scripting standards. And sometimes, like, you know, you need, like, these attached components here should 100% be done before we show them, because you might get a discrepancy where somebody sees the components before they're actually attached. I'm not saying it's, like, likely that that will happen, but I've had cases where there was, like, a one tick difference between something being there and something not being there. And it was very, very obvious when playing. It's like, hey, this isn't going the right way. So now with everything like this, we have show ODM cables, show vertex animation ropes. I'm just going to duplicate this function and then just name this hide. Which is also not going to be the correct way of doing this, because these need to hide way earlier. Hide vertex animation ropes. So technically these are going to hide when I can skip over that. Just bypass this real quick. So the vertex rope will actually hide before the cables, or they'll hide at the same time the cables show up, because it's needed to do for the illusion. I guess they're already showing, but yeah, now holding down left click, they just go to where they need to. It's still hard to tell when I'm moving around, but yeah, they're working. All right. It would just be hard to test that if I was also revealing the actual cables themselves. Okay, so we have all that information. Next thing we should tackle would be... I'm trying to think. So we need a delay after here. This would be important to have a delay here. I can't do like a legitimate delay because that would be a latent node. And we can't do latent nodes here. I don't think we could set timers either. Oh, it says we can. We shouldn't be able to. It'd be very weird to do a timer inside of a tick event thing. I mean, hey, I'm all down to try it. No, I can't even create custom events, meaning I'd have to create a timer by function name, which again shouldn't work because functions are fired off independently each time they're done. So I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to start a timer, like using a timestamp or using code or something. So I guess what we need to do... So we need to wait like 2 seconds after we do this. Alright. Just thinking about how to handle this. Alright, I know somebody sent me a really simplistic thing about how to do a timer. Here we go. I know I responded to them. So the set happens on landing when downward velocity is high. The bull hobble timer is less than and equal to get time. Less than or equal to get time. Let's try this. Get time, which should be a GMC replicated component function. Let's do create a new variable. Vectors is going to be cable timer. It's going to be a flute. Also because I'm not replicating these variables or binding them, I'm going to swap to standalone for now. Just get the foundation working. Less than or equal to this value, and I'm assuming they add this to something. Oh, cool. Wow, okay, I see what they're doing. So they're setting this timer like this. So they're doing a check here. If this is ever true, then technically your timer is done. And then they're setting this timer by getting time, then adding the time that they're trying to time for. So if they want a 5-second timer, they just set this value for 5 seconds. Okay, so that doesn't seem too bad. The functionality of that seems useful, and it would work, I hope. So to see if we're doing this correctly, we will... Oh boy. Okay. We have a lot of code going on here. Maybe we need to start a new node for this. A new function. So I'm trying to think. I could do when I left click. Let's see. Let's build this. So we need a way to set this timer, first of all. Basically, I'll need a do once to go into here. Which we have one of those right here. We have a grab once. This probably isn't the smartest way to do this. Alright, 5 seconds of time. Hopefully pass for this. And this also matters to check here. Ah, but that won't work due to the do once. Okay. Oh, I see the issue. We need like 2 do onces. Oh god. So as long as I'm still pressing left click, we could sequence this. That's cool. We can just do this for now. This is a really poor way to do this. I'm just realizing that, but that's fine. Cool. Once this timer is 5 seconds have passed, we're going to show the cables themselves. Will this work? I have no idea. It might. Let's do some print strings, and then we're just going to basically just print when this goes off. And get this cable timer. This isn't gonna really do anything. I have no clue if this is gonna work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the cable showed up, I think. So some of the code is gone though. What is it? I noticed some of the code isn't working properly. Hold on. Okay, nope, that's working. Cable timer is less than or equal to get time. Okay. Print string. If true, calculate vertex rope. If false. Broken. Okay, sorry. I'm doing stuff off screen again. Sorry, I'm just used to doing this off screen just because it's like right there. I'm like, yeah, I'll just do this on my other monitor so I can look at the game window for no reason at all. Worked. Some weird print strings, but we'll see if this works. So we're getting worked immediately, which we should not be. Huh. So that means this isn't getting set down here. Maybe the sequence node doesn't work here. Just in case, I'm gonna unplug these for a second. What? I must have screwed something up. Because something ain't working. Okay, hold up. If I skip over this entirely, is it working? It is working. Sequence nodes do not work here. Interesting. I thought it would. But it seems like it does not like that. No, okay, wow, we just cannot use sequence nodes. I guess that makes sense. I just wasn't expecting that. I mean, okay. We do need a way to start this timer, though. Let's take this onto a function. Hello? There we go. Collapsing the function failed. Why? It's not a local variable. Just go into a function. You're fine. What is wrong? Is it because we're setting something? Okay, I guess so. Alright. So... This is so goofy. There was a timer someone set that I thought was cool. And they basically... how did it work? I don't even remember. This is so weird to do. Okay, so ODM timer function. When this function is called, is the cable timer less than get time? I mean, the obvious answer is yes. Can we clear this? I'd like to make this null. I don't know. I guess we can't. Should this be a two-parter function? Probably. I'm gonna try to make it one part, though. I probably can't. Can we use this grab once thing? There's no way it'll let me do this. So it'll do once, get time, add 5 to it, get the cable timer, or set the cable timer, and it'll constantly check. Hey, are we less than the time yet? I mean, it kind of works. It should work in theory. Okay, so if I just get another boolean, ODM timer. This needs to be a boolean. Okay. Is cable timer less than or equal to get time? Yes. So that we know. If cable timer is less than or equal to get time, it doesn't matter. It's timer done false. This would be true. Right? This should work. And yes, I know it's a mess. It's a grab line trace. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna timer function. We're gonna try this. No way is this going to work, but I'm curious. It might work. It has a small chance of working. 5 seconds. 3, 4, 5. No, it doesn't seem to like me at all. Okay. Ooh, I love timers, man. They're so fun. They're so fun. I bet you his grab once isn't even changing. Started. Timer. No, it shouldn't be changing because it's setting it. The grab once is literally changing. Like way too late. Watch this. We need to do this differently. This needs to be set. Set odium timer. Yeah, that's how we need to handle this. This is just bullshit. We can skip. We're not doing that correctly. Paste this here for now. This needs to go into a new function to be check. Collapse the function. Check odium timer. Alright, so yeah, this isn't the best way to do this. Blah blah blah, do all this. This all comes at the end. First thing we need to do after we show the ropes, set all the attachments, is we need to start the odium timer. This also should be called start. I don't know why I call it set. Start odium timer. So now, to know if this works, just have a thing here called timer started. Make this bright green. Make sure it's not getting spammed, because that's important. Start timer. Cool. It's literally being spammed, and that is because we are not handling this. Start timer. Cool. Hey, Dexter. Alright. That goes there. Okay. I think we're good to do... Hey. Hey. No, no, no. No. So while we're doing that, if this keeps printing false... I think we're good to just do our infinite check here. Where's it at? Hi, Dexter. Check ODM timer. Oh, we could do this in a better way, can't we? Okay. I mean... That's kind of all we have to do. Let's just do this. So we just do is timer done, and then when it's done, we're truly done. Oh, this is a mess of booleans, man. And booleans and floats, and it's a mess. Alright, let's give it a shot. 5 seconds. It immediately thinks it's done. It must be true by default. Unless I just have these flipped. I don't know, man. Hold on. 3, 4, 5. What is going on? Alright, well, we have an issue then. So, we're starting the timer over here. We're adding 5 seconds. Let's add 50. I want you to print where we're at. Give me the value. And then while this is running, you're going to print the value this time. It needs to at least go off. I must have something wrong then. Ah. Hold on. No, it should be working. I must have these inverted. Because it is getting us the time. Oh, see, that's working now. It was inverted. My bad. Okay. So that's doing our timer, and it seems to work. Is it affected by frame rate? Who knows, man. I hope not. We'll figure it out soon. Look, we're making progress. It's slow, but we're getting there. So if the timer is done, what do we do? That's a great question. Oh, this would be... We show the vertex animation ropes. We should also do show ODM cables when the timer is done. That's the first thing we do when it's true. We should also be showing... Oh, we do. Show the vertex animation ropes. Show ODM cables. We need to hide the vertex animation ropes in general here. It's gotta be the first thing we do. And then we show the full-on cables here. And when we let go of the timer, we hide both things like they never happened. I think that should work just fine. So in 5 seconds, those will disappear and be replaced. Okay, they didn't disappear, but they were replaced. Why? Yeah, that would be why. Didn't change that. Also, this should be a do once as well. Oh, there's so many do onces, man. GMC do once. That's like my biggest gripe with doing things on events. It's like I just need to fire things off once, man. Okay, well, at least that's working at this point. I'm gonna promote this. ODM cable transition time. By default, that should be like just 0.6, I'm sure. That's close enough. Probably too long as it is. We'll go down to 0.28. I don't remember what the original was. I could go check the timer though. Nah, it was definitely like 0.26. I could feel it. So we're getting the delay and cabling there. Seems like everything's working. Alright. The little complex. Luckily, once this is like built out, it's good to go and doesn't need to be changed again. At least for other things, like it's reusable. All right. I'm getting so many extra functions out of this, jeez. ODM timer done. Does this really need to be a variable though? Like, can I just check ODM timer? That's such a good question. I could just bypass this here. Alright, so the big thing with the vertex, hide vertex animation, is we need to play the vertex animation in general, and we don't have a way to do that yet. So it's basically these two here. So this is when we're doing it. Interesting. So we're just, okay, so animation value here. What is this first one? Panner time? I guess this is how much we're revealing, and this is like the vertex animation itself. So we're gonna yoink these three nodes. Looks like we're gonna need to get some magical values out of here. Parameter values. So this one stays 0 on the bottom, so that one's not hard to deal with. So that's gonna be when everything's said and done. When things are finished. We're gonna get this. I actually have both of them somewhere, probably in show vertex animation. These will need to be a part of this. Oh, these don't update, do they? They need to update. Yep, they need to update on a timer. These cannot go here. The timer updating happens here. So much branching logic, man. It's getting messy. We are getting closer to being done with this, though. It is getting there. So I got to do the rotation. So now it's the parameter value. Oh boy. Boy, okay. Parameter value, so I believe we just need to get a lerp. That's all we need. It's a very simple line. So 0 to 0.5. I don't know what its alpha is. I guess I'll have to find the alpha based on time. I don't know. This other one is 0.5 to 0 in a span of 0.3 seconds. I guess we were using 0.3 seconds. Fine, let's just use that here. So 0.5 to 0. I mean, alpha can just straight up be get time, right? It's not going to be 0 to 1. Give it a little test. We'll see how that goes. Well, you can see the cables animating occasionally. It's cool they seem to exist in the first place. So clearly that's not it. I lied, actually. We can't make this go faster, right? This will just change the time. I'm sure if we use power, that probably wouldn't be good, because we'll just start hitting some ridiculous numbers at some point. Time is also completely random. It is going faster. That is cool, though. But yeah, time is not a good thing to use for that. Oh, we're gonna need another timer, aren't we? Oh boy, my favorite. Actually, we shouldn't. It should be roughly based on the same timer. Okay. So we have a check for time here. Current time. I mean, we could subtract and divide. When would we need to do that? Dude, there's no way. This is so stupid. So when the timer is not done, let's create a new float. Current time ODM timer current. All right. Send this every single tick, and what this is gonna be is we're gonna take a cable timer, right? Get time. And we're gonna subtract. Should get us time remaining. And then divide. And then we divide by the transition time. I hate math, dude. I hate math so much. That. We print that. Should get us an alpha of 0 to 1. Unless I inverted the subtraction, which is probably the case. Oh, I saw it. We're going from -0 to 1. So I think I did that wrong. Let's invert these real quick. So we get time starting in the high 9s, and it goes down to 0. So we've accidentally inverted the timer. I think that's what we wanted. So because if we mix these up the wrong way, I could just max or absolute the value. So it's still a value 9. So it starts at 1, goes to 0. Yeah, we don't want that. Starts at 1, goes to 0. We want 0 going to 1, but I don't really think I have a choice. Sure, I could just add it or something. I guess invert the numbers. It's not a big deal. Podium current timer. I mean, it works. It works. That's our alpha. It's cursed and I hate it, but it would work. Podium current time. I'm literally just gonna rebrand this current / alpha. There's no way. Well, good news too is I could use this alpha for other things as well. But yeah, this code is something, man. Like a timer would fix all this. Or timeline. I don't think that's working properly. It's literally reversing the whole animation. Yeah, it's reversing the whole thing. So I would literally just have to do 0.5 to 0 instead. I think. It might be a little bit more complicated than that because of how I did my vertex animation on 10 frames. I think we're good. Seems like we're good. Oh, and it always starts correctly too. I think that was an issue with my other thing, is it didn't. I mean, it's working. It's also, like, perfectly accurate this time. I wonder if that was due to, like, we were rotating the capsule and there's some issues. You know, the animation's playing just fine. It's cursed how we're doing this, but I mean, hey, it's working. I can't really complain. Alright, this is definitely a call for a short break. Was it like 8 minutes? I don't know how long I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna assume 8 minutes. Okay, I will be right back though. Apologies, I totally forgot I kept my mic off. I don't remember why. I think I went on a break, and then when I came back, I forgot to unmute. Thank you for reminding me. Dementia symptoms, honestly. Might be true, might be true. Alright. FX, ODM, grab once. I don't really have a choice here. I gotta keep these variables. FX, ODM, let go once. Alright. Well, I mean, I think we did an okay job organizing this. This was a mess, not even a couple minutes ago. I'm just gonna keep this for now. You started watching Breaking Bad and playing Counter-Strike 2. What a combo. Alright. So this constantly updates the direction, that's fine. That's running only when I'm holding down left click, which is good. I mean... yeah, this would work. Have I ever played Face It? Yeah, I used to play a bunch of Face It. Way back when. I was okay at it. I never really climbed through the ranks. It was fun. I enjoyed it. The teammates were significantly more enjoyable than playing with, like, randoms. Need to rename this function as well. Calculate, FX, calculate. FX set ODM cables. Attach ODM cables. You know what? I have these named inverted. I should have set ODM cables as something different. Inside here where it says attach ODM cable should be set. FX attach ODM cables. This should be FX set ODM cables. And then this should be attach. Cool. Level 5 on Face It. You're probably higher than me. I don't remember what level I was. I didn't really play too much of it, so I was probably really low. I also used Face It to do a lot of strat roulette back in the day and just kind of mess around. Alright, this can also... we don't need this. Oof, I have way too many bound variables here. I gotta clean that up at some point. Alright, well, I mean... that just handles the grabbing, too. That doesn't even handle the actual animation. So first things first, I need to categorize all of these. So, category... FX ODM attach. Oh, there's a shit ton of functions right there. Actually, I think I got rid of this timer. I did. There's been a higher level, but teammates dragged you down. It happens, man. It always happens. May make a comeback on Facebook. Good luck, dude. When am I gonna finish it? Are you talking about this game I'm working on? I have no clue. That's what you're asking. I honestly really have no clue. Yep, no clue. I'm the only person working on it. And I try, like, I can get one feature done every single day. But that only gives me 365 features. And that's, like, working most efficiently right now, too. Sometimes it usually takes me 2 days to get a feature working. And then I will start to work on the next one. You want to do game development but never liked it? I always wanted to do game development but could never get into it. It was difficult to program. Programming was my biggest barrier. So I ended up just doing like 3D art instead and became like a 3D environment artist, modeler, etc. Like whatever. Kind of just like a generalist at that point. I like the generalist title more than environment artist only because I enjoy doing everything in 3D for the most part. It's like some things I'm not super great at, like sculpting, but other than that, I understand and enjoy the rest of it. So I pretty much learned everything 3D wise, and then now I'm like really interested in game development, and all those skills are helping me because it's just, if you know a lot about 3D and you transition to game development, it's fun, except a lot of games or game engines aren't made for artists to program. So that's why I like Unreal. I really like their node-based workflow. I know it's not ideal, but it's what I can do. And I do think it's capable. Do you think AI would take over 3D art? Probably, at some point in time in the future. I don't see why it wouldn't. But, like, describing takeover is very different. Like, well, I think AI will be able to do all of 3D, like, entirely. Probably not. I mean, at least not for a very, very long time. Like, it's pretty difficult to create 3D models. And, like, 3D models also are, like, a creative problem-solving experience. Like, yes, you could create models, but, like, models need to be built in specific ways to meet artists' needs. And, like, if they don't bend correctly at the correct spot, like, I don't think AI is gonna be very knowledgeable about what people need from models. I do think there'll be a use for them, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about AI. I know a lot of people are freaking out about it, like, oh shit, AI is gonna ruin everything. I completely think, like, the jobs, like, sure, okay, yes, if you have a job and 3D's AI is coming out, you're gonna get fucked over by it, depending on who you're working for. But I still believe fully that if that company decides to go down the route of AI, that company's not worth working for. They're a shit company. I do think AI tools will be interesting. I'm more curious about the tools AI will provide than the full process completion that AI will give. Yeah, any company that picks up AI, they have no fucking clue what they actually want, nor do they work in the medium, nor do they actually, like, comprehend the quality loss. They don't really care, though. Like, if like a corporate person is like, yes, AI will save us money, like, that's all they see, that's all they care about. And it's like, sure, like, yeah, companies will use AI to cut costs, and it will show, it will. A lot of people don't care. A lot of average consumers don't care. But like to the people that do care, they'll see it and they'll know. And sure, AI is going to get harder to tell that difference down the line. And that's the scary part. I do think AI, at least, has a bigger impact on different mediums than it does like I don't think it's all equal. I think voice acting that's a cursed one. Because AI voices, that's kind of fucked, in my opinion. Because like there's voice actors, like they just train an AI, someone trains an AI on their voice, and then people just are like, hey, you'll never need to speak again, like we got you with this whole AI thing, can just do your voice. That's scary. Yeah, AI voices are goofy, but like there's some that are pretty good. And I would be significantly more concerned as a voice actor about AI than I am like a 3D artist. I can understand some of the 2D art stuff. I think people just want to get paid for their art being used to train models unfairly. Like that is something that has shown up quite a few times, and I think that's kind of messed up. Also, some people who use AI are just dicks and like quote, like heavy quotation marks here, complete unfinished artworks, and then post them online. I think it's so fucked up. Yeah, no clue. I have no clue where AI is going to take us. I think it's going to be cursed, and it's going to be a ridiculous change in everything on the internet, everything in our lives. It'll fuck up the media. I don't know what to say or do about it. It's just going to be a reality we live in. Best case scenario, it gives a lot of creators the ability to use tools to speed up a lot of things and allow individual creators to actually create. Like, I think more power to the individual and the smaller groups of people than more power to the companies. Like, that's the goal. I feel like that's like the good side of AI. And I still like where the line is still under judgment from the world. So it's a matter of just waiting and seeing where it goes. I personally, if AI disappeared tomorrow, I wouldn't care. If AI came over and took over everything tomorrow, again, it would depend what it would be, how people perceive it. I personally wouldn't consume AI content, unless it was done in like a tasteful way. Like, I say that because like there's just memes of like the president speaking using AI, and it's just funny. Like, people make funny things out of it. It's like, that's the good side of AI. Like, it's just enjoyable. It's funny. But like, you know, a person who can impersonate voices could do the same thing. So it's like, all right, well, it's just weird. It's like, there is a moral line there. It's like, where does everyone draw it for themselves? My hope is that people will appreciate non-AI stuff even when AI comes into existence. That's it. Like, that's all I care about. As long as someone would be like, wow, there's work in this. Like, as long as there's somebody who appreciates it, at least one person, like, that's all I need personally. I mean, just even based on what I enjoy myself. So I'm like whatever with it. I do think there's a lot of bad, like a lot of harm could be done with AI. I mean, anything could be turned and weaponized, but AI especially is a bit spooky. I mean, yeah, you can ask AI how to do everything. It's spooky. I don't have a solid stance on it. I think it's too early to really make sense of everything. Everything is still up in the air and just, it's a nightmare right now. So I just kind of exist in the neutral zone. Like, I'll just check it out, move on. I know some people are affected by it though. Okay, so back to game development, a little AI rant there. We have... Seems like we've completely fixed the grab animation stuff, so that's good. We're going to need to set up information about the capsule spinning, because currently it is very wrong. Yeah, it's like we're not even moving our capsule at this point. It's still so cursed that you get like bungee jump yourself from like side to side. I'm gonna have to find a way to solve that at some point. But yeah, yesterday I got wall running working. You could see here. You can wall run. I know my animations aren't working for everything else. I enjoy wall running. It's nice. It's very abusable right now because if you hold down spacebar and hit a wall, it'll just kind of bounce you off of it. It's very weird. I guess it's not doing it there. That's weird. It should be. Oh, that was weird. Maybe because I'm playing in standalone, it's less likely to happen. Oh, something we didn't test. Is this animation for the lines specific to frame rate? Because I'm a little bit concerned about that. Let's drop down to 30 frames. It looks like the timing is roughly the same. Let's jump up to 60. Yeah, it looks fine to me. If there's a difference, it's honestly very unnoticeable. Yeah, it looks just about the same. Let's go up to 120, see if there's any, like, speed up. No, it looks consistent. Not worried about that. 3D modeling will help you build maps. Is that still, like, AI topic? Or are we just saying, like, knowing how to 3D model will help you build maps? RTX 3090 drops to 30 FPS. I manually put in 30 FPS. When I run this in like an actual packaged game, even in development, which is still not optimized, I get like 300 something frames. There's literally nothing going on graphically other than like really good lighting and stuff. But I think it's also using like a lower resolution. I don't know. I'm not worried about like performance issues on this game yet. I'll get there when I get there. At the moment, it runs just completely like how a prototype game would run. Like, that's somewhat optimized, so. Music turned off. Oops. See, we got time. Alright, so I got the attach ODM cables here. I need to do the part. Okay, so this is good. Everything regarding this, I think we're good. Yeah, so this cable node here is what I just recreated. So all that code I did is just this singular thing here. I believe... Well, okay, that's not true. It's that alongside... Oh no, that's all. That is all, yeah. Because you got the ODM cable here. This is setting it. Hiding it. Setting the material parameters, and then calculating the animation direction for the rope, and then setting that as well. I don't know why people say 30 FPS is unplayable in single-player games. It depends on the game. If it's a first-person shooter, it's gonna feel weird. It also depends on the hardware and the refresh rate of the hardware as well, and the screen size, I feel. Because like on handheld, 30 FPS on like a good display with no screen tearing and like locked 30 FPS on like a 60 Hz display or a 30 Hz display, that's gonna look good. And it does. Like, I have a Steam Deck. It does. 30 FPS is fine. I prefer playing on 40. I think there's a big difference between 30 and 40. I wish game companies would at least aim for 45 frames for every game. Like, period. Never drop below 45. I think 45 it's just slightly better than 30, and like it makes a big difference playing at 45. No game should be running lower than 45 frames. 30's not unplayable. It's really not. But aim for 45. We were playing Baldur's Gate 3 yesterday. That shit was so funny. I killed a squirrel that bit my leg. And then I'm just carrying around its corpse to like show to other squirrels if they try to bite me again. We even like spoke to it and made a treaty and shit, but like I was still upset at it, so I went back and killed it. I'm doing such like a cursed playthrough with like my friend and Nicole right now. Alright, so this is back in the character calculate rope vertex animation direction. So all this is done. All this has been transitioned over. So if we skip through here, we get to the timeline here, which plays the set relative rotation for the turn capsule. So this is, I believe, visual spin capsule, visual turn capsule. It should be this one. So this is the smallest capsule I have. And if you know what a gimbal is, I'm essentially using this as one where I can show you. Let me demonstrate. So if I rotate this, you'll see it rotates the character. And then each one of these things here also rotates the character. So you can see that one also rotates the one inside of it. So it allows me to rotate them on different axes without having to screw up the transforms of the root component, which is the physics collision that matters. All right, I'll be back in 15. No problem, dude. Let's see. Reading a quick message. No, what is happening to my music? Oh, it's back. My music is dying. Okay. So back to the event graph here. So it looks like we're gonna need a new timer. This timer is set alongside holding down left click, and then it stops when we're done holding down left click. And all it is just a timer that updates a rotation. And we got another function here, which is a macro, but we'll turn into a function for getting the location. I don't think this will be too bad. I think it'll be good. I'm gonna move this over to my other screen so I could just have it pulled up while I'm like kind of staring at the code. So obviously this is gonna be a part of attach ODM cables. Should this be a separate function here? I don't know. Probably not. It can literally just run here, because this is what that does. We could just shove this function in here. It's very simplistic. I think we'll be fine if we just plonk in a new function right here. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Give me a second. Okay, sorry, I'm back too. Whoa. Something came up very, very last second. That was concerning, but we're okay. Ugh. Alright. I came to a realization this is gonna be way easier than I thought it was. I don't need a timer. The timer really doesn't matter. We have a timer going already. Timer, we don't even need a timer. I'll show you why. So we'll create a new function. It's weird I can't just create local variable, function. Oh, it's a lot of functions override. This will just be fx. What can we call this? That turn rotation. This will be literally so simple. We're just, oops, sorry, grabbed the wrong thing. Grabbing this, grabbing a reference to the player. Then we're doing, get visual turn capsule. Plug it in here. Ah, we will need that timer because we have a lerp. Okay. I see. This will not be as simple as I was hoping. Oh, you have to go bye? Alright, well, it was nice seeing you, Hike. Nice talking with you on stream. Hope you have a good night. Night? Yeah, it would be night for you. All right. Alright, so we're doing that. We got new rotation here. We need to lerp between current and updated. We will need to calculate ODM rotation as well. This one's always weird. So we'll create a new function in a minute here. Let me put this function in the category though. All right. Sorry, now I'm focused. So for this, lerp rotator. Interesting. This lerp rotator is weird. I don't know why this is separated. All right. Interesting. How does this even work? Shouldn't that be 0? Oh man, this is some wacky math I did. What is this other thing here? Ah, so that's the spin. Okay. Alright, so just by default, new rotation. Ah, so this also goes in reverse. Sorry, I'm learning so much about what I'm needing to do here, because my timer is built in a weird way. I'm just looking at the other graph. This makes sense. Okay, let's create this calculate ODM rotation function. Pure functions. Give me a second to look up pure functions. Misuses of pure functions. See, because they do not cache the results. To avoid misusing pure functions, you can follow a simple rule. Never connect an expensive pure function to more than one impure nodes. 2 images below, I have a blueprint. Pure node that prints hello to the screen because blueprint pure nodes do not cache output. The pure event prints hello to the screen 3 times, despite the node seemingly being reused. Never understood these, man. Figure it out someday. I think it's as long as functions aren't setting variables, they can be pure. I know somebody mentioned this the other day. Let's try it. So fx calculate ODM spin. Let's see what it says. Calculate ODM rotation. So I'm just gonna copy all this. Root component, right? We don't have a root component. Getting there. Get actor location. World transformation target scene component. What was the issue with this? Root component, right? We can get this. Just gonna get the root component from here. Hey, it's working. Supposedly. I do need the grab point. Grab point. Does it go here? And conversion to local space. I think we're all set. Velocity, okay, in range, and it's just we're changing to linear rotator. I think we're good. Calculate ODM rotation. And then this is good to plug into the first true option. False. Why is this set to that? For now, we're gonna avoid this true and false because that's based on the right click. It's not what we need. We'll come back to that at some point. I mean, that should work. So many functions here. And we do need an alpha, meaning we need to play an animation. And the start of this animation needs to happen when we let go. Interesting. How's our current thing working? Start timer, because that's always true. So it's going here as long as we're holding left click. Oh, this will need to get rearranged. I see. I have not built this in a modular way for the hold down button. I've built this purely for left clicking. And that's okay. Does this need to be left click and right click capable? I don't think so. I think we're good. Alright, let's go under the pretense we're just doing this based on left clicking. So, when holding down left click, we need to start the timer. I think when we let go. FX ODM let go once. think we've inverted these. Yeah, so the top one should be true. Default value should be no. Alright, its default value should be true. Sodium. Let's try this. Give this a little check. Okay. That works fine. What's the thing we're plugging in for this? Using ODM cable basic. It's a pretty good one to use. Yeah, we're all good there. Ooh. Yeah, so we should have our set turn rotation. Well, this wouldn't be a do once. This would be... Oh. I see the issue. Okay, wow. This is a little bit confusing. So when I do let go once, I essentially need to do the same thing I did up here. So, cables, start timer. This itself needs to go off when this timer is. So that will start the timer. Let go once will then default to this. Actually, this is just straight up default behavior. So this should be printing every single tick. Let's start. Yep. Cool. So we need to do a check there. Check vertex animation timer. Alright, making progress. So it does that once and then it constantly runs this. I see. Check vertex animation timer. We can probably make duplicates of these functions. Start vertex animation timer. Start vertex animation timer. Start capsule rotation timer. So we'll do this. Does this run once? Because that's a big issue if it does. We want this to be disabled by default. Don't do this. And then see if that prints. That does. It does. This needs to be no by default. Sorry. Just has to. That can be true by default. That's open by default. This first gate is not. Okay, now it doesn't do it. But when we let go, we're good. Good, because I don't want to run any of this code until it's needed. Start capsule rotation timer. Let's find a scoot down. So we got start timer. We have a check animation timer. Check vertex animation timer. Check rotation timer. Works for now. So if false, check this. Is the timer running? Can check that. If it is running, we do the thing. And once it's done running, I guess we're done. But we'd be checking this every frame. That's kind of gross. We'll find a way around it. Set turn rotation. Right, so we need our alpha for this to even work. Alright, all I should have to do is go into the start capsule rotation timer and replace all these variables. FX ODM cable transition time, so we'll make a new one. FX ODM capsule rotation transition time float. That's the new time thing we use. FX cable timer, we're gonna replace that with FX medium rotation timer. Don't necessarily need the print string. Okay. Then for the check here, we're gonna need another variable, aren't we? Rotation transition time. I wish I had a way to automate creating all this, because that'd be wonderful. We need one more. X ODM capsule rotation timer current / alpha. Probably not gonna be much room here. All right. So just gotta set some variables. Timer can start 0. Transition time. We're gonna make this 2 seconds right now. Where that / alpha gives it a space, it's a little weird. I mean, should it work? Yeah. Yeah, it should. Will it? I don't know. Maybe. Let's print a string. It's a redundancy check. By default, it's checking the timer. We have an issue already. We're not setting the timer, so how does it know? Okay, well, it's doing the timer. Is the rotation timer... Oh, how much are we adding? No, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Oh, I guess it would always be passing. Right. Two seconds. Okay. That might be okay in a minute. We'll check. So it does wait 2 seconds. And then starts doing the thing. Okay, so there's definitely a big issue here. Timer running. True. False. I think I have this backwards. The timer is always running. It's a matter of completed timer. That's what it is. A completed timer. There we go. I should also rename this one. It's not... I knew I'd named that weirdly. Or poorly. Now this should work. Okay, well... Maybe not. Okay, we're getting there. It's also probably because it's a pure function, it's not remembering anything. Testing. I love testing, man. Holding down left click. Okay, that seems to have worked exactly how it should. So the issue comes from potentially the alpha? I don't know. Let's start by setting the rotation of 50. Just doing some cursed testing to really check it's working. Okay, so it is an issue of either the alpha or the ODM rotation here being attached to a pure function. Which could be that because I've really never used pure functions before. The math for this should be correct, so I'm not really concerned about the timer. I'm stupid. I built the... I built the timer for the flip by accident. Hold on. This is in the wrong spot. This needs to be here. Oh, I gotta get going soon. Oh, now it's not even showing up. No, what have I done? I have definitely done something wrong. Oh boy. The issue is that 2 seconds pass and it moves to true. Completed timer. Interesting. This isn't even giving me a yes at all. Did I get confused at this point? Hold on. I think I just... I think I built the wrong code. I did. What was I doing? I built the code for the flip. I don't need the flip. This is all I need. Because if this is true, this is what it does. That's it. There's nothing else more complicated than that. I built the flip code. Huh. I mean, it's not redundant. I need it, but that's not what I meant to do. I had it right the first time, dude. I must have had a massive brain fart or something. We're not getting Z rotation. It's a little weird. Alright, there's definitely some issues to be fixed up here. Also, why were we not getting initial rotation? We should be. Because we're using this right... No, okay, hold on. I see the problem. I needed the timer for the blend. That's the issue. The timer doesn't get fired off unless... Okay. So watch this. I'm gonna plug this into here. This will work. I am getting a little bit confused with what I'm doing. See, this is working pretty much as intended. Yeah, there's no issue here now. It's just there's no blend, it's a snappy turn. Are we actually grabbing onto the point we're shooting our rope at, or is there still like a visual bug? Oh, I'm noticing the ropes adjusting for a frame. They're definitely not shooting out from the correct location. They are landing in the right spot, so that's just an issue of we have this in the wrong place. It's because we're, and there's a reason for this, hold up. We are calculating the rope direction. The turn rotation should be happening here then, right? No, that's for a timer thing. Hold up. Skip over this timer for a second. Is this a cool spot to put this? Oh, now it's being super weird. Now there's like super jiggle to the ropes. See that? Look at that super jiggle. You do not like that. It is bad. That was in the original, or the previous version as well. That's because it's struggling to fight the constantly updating rotation. Which actually means we should be setting this rotation before we're calculating the direction. That might fix this. Oh, no. Now we're getting the initial issue we used to get where it's going to the left. What is going on? We have like, we like are choosing our sacrifice. There's no good outcome here. Yep, that's that one. Okay, so depending on the order at which I do this, we get weird issues. This one seems to be the least of my concern. Oh no, we get the jiggle again. I think. Did we get the jiggle? It looks like we get the jiggle. But we're hitting our target. Right? Are we? Oh, it's so tough to say, man. If we play standalone, do we even get this issue? We are playing standalone. Okay, let's play client. Oh, it's even worse on the client. Ick. I bet you it's because we're competing with an entirely different piece of code that's doing the same thing. That's from the wall run code, I think. This is definitely gonna be a weird one to sort out. Oh, making progress. That's all that matters right now. Alright, I'm probably gonna have to end my stream for now. I'm probably gonna do the rest of this offline today. So, hopefully I can get most of the functionality of the cables working the way it used to. But yeah, I'll see you guys. Thanks for being here. Well, bye-bye now.